Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Noodles at Noon, the show that focuses on things not worth focusing on. I am your host, who talks first, Ben, and I am joined, as always, by another host who I beat last night in a game of air hockey to decide who would edit this episode, Noah.
Hello. I hang my head in shame at my bowling and air hockey defeat, because I am also, as we learned last night, the worst bowler by far.
Out of the three of us?
All right, I'll just admit it. Out of everyone who has hosted this podcast, so if you know of anyone else that has been on this podcast, they are a better bowler than me, as it was proved last night.
That's your wife, Noah. As far as other people who have been on this podcast.
My wife beat me at bowling, both games.
Well, I'm sorry about that. But our special guest this week, you can call him Shorty because it is his birthday. It is Michael.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys. You guys showered me in gifts, which was extremely overwhelming, and I'm so grateful. So thank you guys. But also, the square root of -1 is I.
What?
Just keep going, please. Someone in calc will get that.
That was such a nerdy joke. I loved it.
Now, obviously, Michael's birthday is not today. It was yesterday, but since you don't know when we're being recorded doing this, his actual birthday will remain a secret per his wishes. Nobody knows when his birthday actually is. So that's my birthday gift unto you, is that I won't reveal your actual birthday.
Well, thanks, because then they have the name, they have the birthday, all that's left is Social Security, pretty much.
Yeah, and I'm planning on giving that out next week, so...
I know.
You have no idea.
Do they know that we record this podcast like 4 months in advance? So really, Michael's birthday could be any time.
No, yeah. This is all happening before coronavirus started, so... None of that
we don't even know it's
matters.
coming.
Yeah, we don't even know that's about to happen.
Who knows what that is?
Yeah. Well, as always, we like to give shout-outs to the people who listen to our show and let us know. So this week is coming from a good friend of the show, Will. Will, thank you so much. He writes in and says, love listening to this at work. Can't wait until Dennis Quaid is on the show. Also, Nehemiah does slap. Literally, look up Nehemiah 13:25. And Nehemiah 13:25 says, well, at least the first half of it, and I confronted them and cursed them and beat some of them and pulled out their hair. That is the English Standard Version, the ESV version of the Bible. So thank you for that, Will, and that lovely little sermon that came along with it. We greatly appreciate that. I do appreciate you, Will, and you texting me and giving validation to all the jokes that I make during the show that I don't think anyone understands, because oftentimes Noah and Michael don't catch on to them right away.
I have found, listening back through the podcast, because after I edit the podcast and I listen to most of it, but then I listen to it again from start to finish, usually at work, and there are so many jokes that I just completely miss when we record the podcast that I listen to again and realize, oh, that was really funny. Totally missed that Ben said that.
As we continue to shout out the wonderful people who listen to this podcast, we want to give you guys the opportunity to get something from it. So we're going to have a giveaway. We actually have merch. We're going to have the link on the website. I'm still getting all that sorted out because apparently I discovered I accidentally listed the stickers on our website for like 300% more than I meant to. And I only realized that after someone bought them, so I owe them money. But we are going to give away one of those $100 stickers. And all you have to do is, I'm going to have a post on the Noodles at Noon Instagram page, so you have to be following that. You have to comment on the post with your favorite quote from this week's show, and you're also going to have to tag 2 friends. Now, if you just do that, you get entered into the drawing one time. If you do that, and one of your friends follows the podcast, or follows the Instagram because of it, you'll get entered 2 times. If both the people you tagged follow, you get entered 3 times. So that greatly increases your odds of winning a free Noodles at Noon sticker. I'll have a post on the Instagram that explains the rules. And yeah, so I hope to see that work out, and I can't wait for someone to win that because I think they'll be cool.
Sweet. That's how you know you've arrived.
Must be 18 or older. No, Yeah, right. Must be 18 or older and in the United States to enter.
Yeah, make sure you talk to your
That's
parents
the
before
disclaimer.
going on to Disney.com.
Get your parents' permission.
And we will send you 500 free hours of America Online.
And a timeshare. You get the spare room in Noah's house.
The prison room that's been
The
alluded
prison
to
room
earlier. That should be the giveaway, like a weekend stay at Noah and Jesse's prison room.
You have to make your own eggs, but other than that, it's fully serviced.
Fully serviced as in we provide no service, but we give you all the opportunity to do your own things.
Yeah, exactly. Full service means we don't bother you. Does
Right.
anyone have a story that they would like to kick off for this week? Something interesting that's happened to them in the past week? I know we all lead very interesting lives, so I know you're all chomping at the bit to become part of this.
Well, fine. If you look at me in that tone of voice, I'll go first.
I'm not looking at you.
But
Not even
before I
in the
go
same
first,
place.
we're looking at. I can see you. You're wearing a shirt representing your college. I can see you. Anyway, two things. Something less important first, and then the story. So last week, I asked about people's favorite cover
Oh, right.
of
I
the
forgot
song
about this,
"Crazy"
sorry.
by Gnarls Barkley. Yeah, well, someone doesn't have the show notes pulled up clearly, but
Okay,
anyway,
I did. Then I closed them.
turns out that Shade beat Reliant K in a vote of 60% to 40%. So for now, Shade takes a trophy of best cover of Crazy. Now into my story for this week. So this week, I had to take a test called the Casper test. Some of you may know what that is if you've applied to professional school or graduate school. And it stands for the Computer-Based Assessment for Sampling Personal Characteristics. And this test is just a situational judgment test. And it's supposed to be pretty low-key and low-stress, and you're not really supposed to have a way to study for it because it's, you don't know questions you'll get. So I started my week out doing some of the practice, and I watched some videos about how it works, took some of those sample questions from there. I did the system check on my junk laptop, which I got for free from a friend to make sure it could run on it. No issues. Did the system check, the sample test, everything was great. Come test time on Wednesday at 3 p.m., I'll never forget this day, I sat down at the laptop, and you have to upload your picture from the webcam. So I take the picture on the webcam like I've done 3 times in the system check just to make sure it worked, and it won't upload. I try again, it won't upload. I close my browser, delete cookies, it won't upload. I restart the laptop, won't upload. By this point, it's 3:10. I sprint downstairs to find a laptop to use that has a webcam, grab it, dash back upstairs, and then it finally works. This whole time, I've practiced on this laptop and not the one that I stole from below. So my typing was extremely slow, and I flubbed so many words that I hope they don't mind. But my judgment was just totally messed up because of the mass panic ensued from not knowing if my test would even go through. Come to find out, their website was actually the one that had the issue and not my junk laptop. So thank you, junk laptop, for remaining working to this day. And this is why they used that brand on the space station, apparently.
Is it
Wow.
Asus?
No, it's a ThinkPad.
Oh.
Lenovo.
Uh-huh. Well, I think they use the Lenovo ones, but ThinkPads regardless. That's my jam.
I would use an Asus on the space station. There's no joke to that. That's just
I don't get it. Okay.
I would use one of those like VTech Barbie laptops.
Oh no.
why.
You know, it's because have you ever seen one of those fail? They
What
do what
would-
they do very well.
What
You
does
can,
one
like-
of those succeeding look like, Noah?
I mean, they perform all of the functions that they're meant to perform. Like, okay, yeah, here's one. It's a vintage Barbie VTech laptop for $40. It's got like Cinderella on the front. Wait, hold up. That's not a Barbie.
That's
then.
like-
It's got Cinderella on it. It's got buttons for every letter of the alphabet. It's got
Like
all
most
10
keyboards.
numbers. It's got a magic wand and diamonds and trumpets.
Ooh.
And
You know, I was skeptical at first, but now I'm on board.
and the screen is shaped like a pirate hat. So
Dude,
I don't know what else
gosh.
to say.
why does a Cinderella Barbie laptop have a pirate hat as the screen?
It isn't a pirate hat. That's just like the closest I can picture the shape. You know, like the pirate hat like Pa Grape wears. It's that kind of idea.
Yeah, that made it visual. It connected. Don't do that. Ooh, get it.
Well, yeah. I was gonna make some joke about the laptop, but no, I'm sold. It has trumpets on it, so
Yeah.
no. Dear
That's what I'd
NASA,
pick.
use this. It's cheap and it won't fail.
Too big
So-
to fail. That's what that is. It really
No.
is huge.
Is it?
It's like very thick. I don't know what to
Oh.
say. It's huge. VTech, Cinderella, and I'm sorry, it says Barbie on the eBay listing, but it's very clearly Disney Princess. So VTech Disney Princess Magic Wand Laptop, my official recommendation. I don't
wonder
think
how
it
much-
has network connectivity,
Oh no.
but it
I
has a mirror.
I'm genuinely curious how much of this gets cut out in the edit.
Well, I'm editing this week, so probably none. Anyway, I'm sorry,
Anyway.
Michael. Did you have more to your story?
No, that was it. But I just looked at this, and holy cow, it does have all the buttons you described.
Every letter.
Am I the only?
Yeah.
It's
And
weird to think that that's
not many
like
fewer.
something they would advertise. Our laptop has all 26 letters.
I think that was more me advertising for it.
Oh, okay.
I don't actually. I should just say, it does not have a space bar.
Oh no. It's just that's not even a run-on sentence. It's just a run-on word.
I don't know. There's some trumpets underneath the letter keys, so maybe one of
I
those
see that.
acts as a space. It's kind of hard
That
to tell.
just means NASA's
No,
going to
I-
get a bunch of emails from astronauts. It's like, hey guys, how you doing? We're going to have a little bit of a problem. Houston's and I, we're just going to go out to spacewalk, and all this stuff is going to happen. Yeah, bye. That's all the communication between NASA and Earth.
It's actually just an enter button and adventure mode. So there's no
I
space bar. It's
love it
just
when my
enter
laptop
or
has an
return.
adventure mode. She's like, oh, you don't know what you're about to get.
These adult laptops, they have like print screen and numlock and all these useless keys. I want an adventure mode button on my keyboard.
I have a button on my keyboard that just says end, and I'm always too afraid to press it because I don't know what's going to happen.
I tried hitting the home button, and it does not take you home.
Oh. Did you try that at work?
Just like, go home. It doesn't work.
Did you try clicking it 3 times?
There's no place like home. There's no place like
Nope,
home.
place like home. There's no place like home.
Well, I can tell the next story since I think Ben wants
okay.
to close us out.
No.
I wanted to share some of the events. I wanted to open up the floor so we could talk about our bowling party last night, and specifically what happened walking on the way in. You know, spirits are high. This is our first time really in a bowling alley since the world shut down. At least for me.
It's the
I don't
first
know if
time
you
I've
guys-
left my house.
And just to put it out there, it was very safe and everyone was distanced. There were lanes closed so you could have space between people, dividers, gloves, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Masks were worn at all times,
Masks were worn at all times.
even when I was drinking my water.
Even drinking
Yeah.
water.
It's just called filtration.
So spirits are high. We're walking into this bowling alley, and this group of, I don't know, middle-aged men start walking out, and a song is playing on the speakers outside the building on the way in. And they look at Ben, and Ben, what did they ask you to do?
They did not ask me to do anything specifically. The first thing they did was ask if any of us knew the song, and Michael did. I still don't know what song it was.
Me neither.
I don't remember the name of the song. Sorry.
So you lied.
I also didn't know at the time. No. I know the song. I don't know the name of the song. Those are two very different things.
Well, as you might expect, out of the 4 of us that were there, I'm probably the most outgoing one, especially around people that I've never met before and will probably, hopefully, never see again. And they were very joyful jovial people. And one of them started dancing to the song in a very interesting manner with hands raised above his head and emphasis on moving his hips in a manner that is common in places I don't frequent. And he was like, "Hey, you guys got to give us one of these." That is exactly what he said. And probably wisely, the other three just kept right on walking into the building, and I was like, "Okay, I'll do that." So,
no, it was true. It was Jesse, Michael, and I were all trying to like kind of brush him off, like, "Okay, you have a good night. Keep walking, and Ben just stops. He's like, "All right, I'll engage this conversation."
It reminds me of this one time I was at a concert, and it was a Christian concert at I won't say where it was at because that would kind of give us away where we are. But it was a Christian concert, and I was there with one of my friends, and we were walking up the stairs, and this guy stops him, and he goes, "I love Jesus, yes I do. I love Jesus, how about you?" And my friend looks at him, and he just goes, "No." And then he just keeps walking right up the stairs. And I'm just like super confused by what just happened. So I talked to the guy. I'm like, "Yeah, I love Jesus. So does my friend. I don't know why he did that." And I'm talking, laughing with him. And I get up to him, and I was just kind of like looking at him funny. He goes, "Ben, did that guy say Jesus or Cheez-Its?" Because I genuinely dislike Cheez-Its. But if that guy said Jesus, I'm really embarrassed. I'm like, yeah, he said Jesus because obviously he said Jesus, but you made a decision and I think you should stick to it. So I don't know why, but that whole situation just reminded me of that story.
So anyway, we had a great time. We got to see Ben pull off some awesome dance moves. Got to play some great bowling, play a few arcade games. And Ben, do you have a story for the week?
I do. One of the more interesting things that happened to me this week was I decided to be a bit adventurous this past last week's Tuesday.
Adventure mode
On my Barbie keyboard. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to conform to social norms, and it was a chilly morning. I'm like, I'm going to get myself a pumpkin spice latte. And I'm excited. I order it on the Starbucks app. I get in line. I drive farther than I normally do for my lunch break to go pick up my pumpkin spice latte. And I bring it back into the parking lot of where I work, and I'm like, I'm going to do this on Snapchat. I'm going to upload it to Instagram just so I can share with the world my first time drinking a pumpkin spice latte, because everybody loves these things. And I tried it, and it's the most underwhelming thing I've ever done in my entire life. And I went to college.
You just made Noah leave.
Apparently
He's
Noah
go buy
is
one
upset
right now.
with me. He just slammed his door. Noah is...
He can still hear us, which is the creepy thing.
That's
so
true.
we
He has
can't
the
really say
Bluetooth
much.
headset. He can still hear us. I was so underwhelmed by it, and I put it on my Instagram, and one person disagreed with me. Apparently Noah now disagrees with me, but one person was like...
I disagree strongly.
Oh, no. I didn't know we were going to have this conversation today. But like only one person was like, "No, I like those. How dare you?" Except now two people. But I got like 60 responses, and all of them were like, "Oh yeah, I don't like those either. They're not bad, but they're not good, or as good as everyone seems to make them out to be." But apparently I've touched on some sort of nerve. So Noah, do you want to rebuttal?
I want to make my case. I want to share a personal, heartfelt story.
Oh, okay.
The year is, what is the year? 2019.
Something tells me this didn't happen in the past week.
This happened actually about exactly a year ago. It's fall. It's 2019. The world's not great, but the world's okay, and I can
better than
go
it
outside.
is now.
Yeah, I can go outside, and it's not smoky, and I don't have to, wear a mask or worry. And simpler times. My girlfriend at the time, now my wife, I believe you all have met her. same one, Jesse, we decide, you know what? Everybody talks about these pumpkin spice lattes. People are really silly. It's such a, white girl thing. So we go, yeah, let's go get one. We have a Starbucks card. Let's go try one. We get the pumpkin spice latte. Changes our life. I married her this year. I rest my case.
I didn't realize it was Shrek's love potion from episode 3 or whatever that was.
I can't believe this is the reason I'm not married.
Pumpkin spice lattes are the definition of the fall season. And though this may only be a year old, Michael
we're not talking
us...
about the unicorn frappuccino, Michael.
No. I'm asking, have you ever had that? But Noah was still talking, and I didn't want to speak over him. So
Michael's showing us a picture of the unicorn frappuccino from April 2017. I never did have one of those. Did you?
Do you have a calendar of when all these things came out?
No, it said
I think it said right below it in the image.
Oh, it did?
I also don't do Starbucks. So the answer's no.
And I can't justify paying for Starbucks, but I got a ton of Starbucks gift cards recently, so I save them for this time of year, and I go get pumpkin spice lattes.
Okay, well, the next time you go, get this salted caramel mocha, because that was a million times better. Don't
make me leave again. I will slam the store again.
Fine, whatever. I'm sorry that... Oh, I'm going to make Noah more mad at me. I drink decaf. Ha. I don't even get caffeinated coffee.
Wait, I only drink decaf.
Oh, really?
Do you even know me, Ben? I gave up caffeine like 3 years ago because I drank too much caffeine. I drank a big cup of coffee and then I drove, and I was so shaky that I couldn't keep my foot on the brake. And
oh my gosh.
That's when I realized, you know what? I'm done. And I gave up caffeine, and I haven't regretted it.
I'm the same way. See, we're bonding now. We've repaired our wounds that were caused by the pumpkin spice latte.
Okay, that's fair. I can agree with you on the decaf.
Yeah,
the pumpkin spice latte war is over.
The reason I told this story is because I shared it on my own personal Instagram, and it got a lot of reactions. People seemed to enjoy it. It was just something I did for fun, but I think I'm going to continue doing it on our Noodles at Noon Instagram, which is noodles.at.noon on Instagram. It'll be on Tuesdays, probably around noon, and it'll just be an Instagram Live, me trying something new, and then I'll get your guys' opinion on it too. So make sure you go check that out. Tomorrow, I guess. So, yeah.
Sweet. Can you give us a preview of what you're going to be trying tomorrow?
I think I'm going to stick with the pumpkin spice theme. I told Michael about this because I ran the idea past him. I think I'm going to stick with the pumpkin spice theme and try some pumpkin spice Twinkies that I found the other day at Target.
Oof.
So we're going to see how that goes. 'Tis the season, am I right?
'Tis the season.
'Tis the season.
For cardiovascular disease.
Oh, it's always the season for cardiovascular disease. Speaking of cardiovascular disease, Michael, you have our first game of the week.
You know what it's time for? It's time for cardiovascular disease celebrity cameo cost Cthulhu again. Let's hear it.
Woo! Does the title get longer every week?
All these celebrities have cardiovascular diseases.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there. Hold on. Let me do a brief, just in case you didn't hear episode 2. Once again, for those of you not in the know, Cameo is an online service that allows you to purchase a short video from celebrities of all popularities, and they can wish you a happy birthday, a happy anniversary, happy graduation, happy divorce, happy cardiovascular disease, and you made it through, and so on. So they'll do all these things if you pay them. In this game, the two guests, Ben and Noah, will go head-to-head to guess the cost of each celebrity's cameo. We are using Price is Right rules, so the highest closest bid without going over wins. Today's theme is anti-cardiovascular disease. These are people that play sports.
Ooh.
Of the world of sports. They don't actually have to be playing right now.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Spoiler. Are you guys ready? I forgot if I asked.
Yes. I've decided I'm ready.
Okay.
Wait, what is this game?
Is Noah ready? Oh my gosh. Let me explain the rules again.
But why male models?
Once again, for those of you not in the know, Cameo is a...
No, I'm kidding.
Get the whole again.
He just does the whole spiel.
All right. Number 1. I have 7 rounds. It goes quick. Sorry. Number 1. New Jersey Devils goaltender Martin Brodeur. How much is he? Noah, we start with you.
I remember him. He's a hockey player.
Yes.
He was in backyard hockey that I used to have as a kid, which I actually played a couple of months ago, and it still holds up.
Oh, that should be a stream that you do. Sorry.
Oh, that would be awesome.
But that'd
Plug
be
the YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube.com/ no, actually that's not true. I don't know what the URL is, but the Chubby Pirate.
No, that's correct.
On YouTube.
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm gonna go with $49.
All
that's
right,
cheap.
Ben, we go to you.
I'm gonna go with 160.
Noah takes it. He is 150.
Curse those prices right rules.
Cheap.
It's so cheap.
I have to watch because now I have to be aware that I'm not showing my tail, since you guys can see.
Oh, that's
because previously
right.
I would react, so now I just have to.
I would too. Yeah.
Number two, sideline reporter / host for ESPN, Olivia Decker. How much is Olivia Decker's cameo, Ben?
Olivia Decker, wife of Eric Decker. Is that true? I don't think that's true.
I think it is true.
Okay.
She's married to a famous Decker.
Yeah.
I know that.
Her last name is Decker. I'm gonna go just because of that connection. She 175.
All right, Noah.
I think she's actually related to Ted Decker, the Christian horror novelist. Is gonna be my guess. Also, I've never heard of her. I'm gonna say $49.
We've got a double over. I didn't prepare sound effects today, so you don't get. Womp womp. We need a double rebid from each. Well, another rebid from each of
Well,
you.
since $49 is over, I'm gonna say like 25.
I was gonna say
All
25
right,
too.
no.
I'll say 35.
Still a double
Oh
over.
my gosh. $5? No, 15. I'll say 15.
Noah.
$1.
All right. Wait, hold on, Ben. What was yours?
15.
It was 15,
Yeah.
correct? Okay, great. Ben takes that one. Olivia Decker's cameo is $20.
You know,
Wow.
Number
even though I
three-
don't really know her, that almost seems worth it.
Oh, just you wait, sweet honey.
Does she do endorsements? Like, would she endorse the Noodles at Noon podcast for $20? Because
You could probably get that
I
done.
don't think
but
she would
just
endorse
hold
it on like
just,
her platforms. I think she would send us a video that then we would have to post on our
That's true.
platforms, which isn't.
which still limits
Which-
the
yeah.
reach of the $20, but all right, number 3, WWE superstar Big E Langston. How much is Big E? I actually have a t-shirt with him on it in this closet, which is hidden right now.
okay, another person I don't know, like all of these. Oh no, I knew the first one. I'm gonna go with $80.
All right,
I
Ben.
think that's a solid guess. I'm gonna go a bit lower and say $49.
Noah takes it. Big E Langston 125 on Cameo. That's WWE fame, man. He needs that dough apparently.
Big E.
Number 4, former Green Bay Packers QB quarterback Brett Favre, aka Brett Favre.
Bet Favre.
How much is Brett Favre? It's Ben first.
Well, he's making that Wrangler money too, because he does those jeans commercials. So I think that's a $400 cameo that Brett Favre will make for you.
All right, and Noah.
Man, I'm trying to put myself in the position of a really successful NFL quarterback. Like, surely he's got to be pretty set. So yeah, he has to be really expensive. I'm gonna. But $400 is a lot of money. That was a really good guess, Ben. I'm gonna say $1.
That's the sound of someone right on the money. It's Ben, $400, Brett Favre, $400, and a rap beat to go with it. So there you go.
You know why I said 400, right? Because he wore number 4.
Well, he's obviously charging
4.
100 times that, but yeah.
Well, it was either that or $4, so.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that
And
one,
that's
especially
less
with the
than
Wrangler
Olivia
promotion.
Decker,
Right. All right, this one goes out for Ben.
Noah.
Sorry. Well, this person was put in here for you, but we start with Noah. Monster truck driver of Gravedigger, Morgan Kane. How much is he, Morgan Kane, on Cameo Noah?
He is a solid $74.
All right, and Ben.
I'm going to go with $1 just because he's not the Gravedigger driver. That would be any of the Andersons. So I got to go with just $1.
I apologize for the misinformation, but your fact-checking got you another point. He is $10, Morgan Kane, on Cameo. Ben, you might be getting that for Christmas. That's spoiler alert. Number 6, 3-time PBA title winner and Pro Bowler with an afro, Kyle Troop. Ben, we begin with you. How much is Kyle Troop?
$35. Based on no knowledge of that whatsoever.
Yeah, I think this one has to be kind of low, too. I'm going to say $40. No, that's mean to Ben. I'll say 50.
Ben, did you say 35? What did you say?
I said 35.
Okay, it's a double over again. Unfortunately, so Noah, will start with you.
I'm going to say 15. No, I'm going to say 20.
All right.
I'm going to say $1 just because it might be low.
Noah gets that one. $25 for Kyle Troop.
Yay.
We are split at 3-3 going into the final round. And who else to finish out this round in this game with other than Chuck Norris, famed martial artist, movie actor, everything comes down to Chuck Norris. How much is the Chuck Norris? I think it's Noah up first. Take your time, Noah. Take your time. I will keep speaking. That way there is no dead air for you to possibly worry about editing out and for people... Yeah.
Ben, stepped away from his headphones. That was so loud. Okay,
No,
so Chuck Norris is such a meme, but also, who wants Chuck Norris in their movie in 2020? So...
I do. Hello?
Ben does.
What?
Okay. Actually, maybe we can get him with our cameo. Ooh.
Maybe.
A Chuck Norris Noodles at Noon sponsorship would be great for $125.
That is exactly half what I was going to say. I locked in right when it said
Ben
Chuck Norris
shocked.
with $250.
Gents, it's been a pleasure playing Cardiovascular Celebrity Cost Cameo Cthulhu, whatever it's called. Ben takes this one. He is $300. Congratulations, Ben. He throws both arms in the air, double fist pump like a frat party. 4-3. Ben takes this round.
Man, what do you know about frat
I think
parties?
you won last time. Nothing, actually. So.
You think everyone just walks around with 2 fists raised in the air?
It's frat
I know fist
time!
pumps.
Yeah! Chuck Norris!
We have to turn this into a video podcast. People are missing some great dance
Please
moves.
don't.
Yeah, we really do. Is Dennis Quaid on Cameo? Have we figured that out yet?
Probably not, but we can try to look.
Can we try and
it up.
convince him?
Dennis Quaid Cameo.
He is not on Cameo.
We're going to make that happen.
Dennis Bermudez is. He's a UFC fighter. He is $10.
Oh, you took away a possible... I was going to guess.
Whoa, Jack Quaid is the son of Dennis Quaid.
Does he have a cameo?
He's just hey, I'm
No.
not famous, but I have a cameo, and I know Dennis Quaid. He's my
28.
dad.
It's fair.
We'd have to look that one up.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael, for that game, and thank you also for me winning. I appreciate me winning, so thank you, Ben, for winning. All right, so we're going to jump into a new segment. It's not really a game, but it's just an opportunity to help some people out, really. This game is going to be called Questions and Answers, and what I have done is I have gone to Yahoo Answers and found some questions that Noah and Michael will have to come up with answers for. Obviously, there are no correct or incorrect answers, so if I do assign points, it'll be with reckless abandon. And obviously, these are no ordinary questions. I have chosen some interesting questions to help zest up our show, if you will. So I have 3 questions that I'm going to ask. I don't really care who goes first, but here is question number 1. Somebody asked, my cat has tasted human blood. Should I put her down, or is there a spell to save her from becoming a cannibal? Here is the background to that question. It says, I was playing a juggling game with my cat, Mitzi, when I miscalculated the height and she landed on my head, bit my ear, and scratched my scalp. Later, I saw her licking off blood from her claws. I have mice, birds, and fish in my basement, so naturally, I don't want to live with a bloodthirsty killer cat. I watched the Cujo documentary this weekend, and I'm really scared. So, what advice do we have to help her out?
This is a tough situation, and I think it's one we all find ourselves in from time to time. Like, wow, I have this pet that is murderous and kind of has some Hannibal tendencies to it.
Well, so the question is, in the very first part, should I put her down, or is there a spell to save her from becoming a cannibal? Which, okay, I think that second part is the most important part. Is there a spell to save her from becoming a cannibal? Because in no part does this question or story, does it ask or have anything to do with there being another cat that this cat could eat. That's just...
Oh, that's true. If you're a cat and you eat a mouse, that doesn't make you a cannibal.
No, it makes you a cat.
So really, this lady needs a spell that's not a cannibal preventing spell. She just needs... Here's the answer. You know, this is the problem people had with Avengers and Thanos wanting to kill half the world because there weren't enough resources. And everybody was like, just make twice the resources in the universe. So I think you come at this from a more pacifist solution and you make a spell that just keeps the cat full all the time. So the cat never needs to eat. So where she finds that spell, I hear that Florida has some pretty crazy people. So I would just go down to Florida, and I'm sure, like, if you just walk into a gas station and say, hey, I need a cat hunger prevention spell, somebody will hook you up.
I need a spell that does a reverse liposuction on a cat. Can somebody help me with that?
That's my solution.
That's okay. Michael, do you have any other suggestions for this person?
Well, I've had some time to think, and you mentioned something about spells, and I watched this YouTube channel upon occasion about how to cast... No, I watched a YouTube channel by a guy that calls scammers and gets them busted for being scammers in their home countries. And in this video, he found a love spell scammer who cast a love spell for him and Abe Lincoln and raised Abe Lincoln from the dead, allegedly, who's going to run for president this year. It's a weird video. Highly recommend it's watched. But I recommend calling one of these. I don't know where this guy was from, so for the sake of comedy, we'll say Djibouti. A Djibouti spell scammer.
All right. Well, there you have it. If you want to prevent your cat from becoming a cannibal, you either just need to go to Florida to a gas station for a reverse liposuction spell, or call a Djiboutian love spell scammer. There you go. Question number 2 that desperately needs to be answered. There are a lot of parts to this question, and it's very important that we touch on all of them. The question is, how do cowboys get cowboy boots? I'm going to be a goth cowboy for Halloween, and I'm from Texas, so I'd say I'm quite familiar with the cowboy aesthetic. I was shopping for cowboy boots on Amazon, and I noticed they were all very expensive, with 2 exclamation points. I even asked my family about it, and they say, yeah, it's going to be expensive, in a somewhat resigned voice. Are all cowboys rich? Do cowboys get a discount? Is this something you save up towards, and when you are finally able to buy one, it declares you a real cowboy? Or am I going to have to find a way to acquire cowboy boots for little to no pay? I honestly don't know what the actual question to this is, but I'm guessing it's, how do cowboys get cowboy boots, Michael?
Well, if we go off last week's Florida Man game, we mentioned, I believe it was snakeskin or crocodile skin boots, and I don't recall which.
Crocodile. But you'd have to get rid of a lot of snakes to get some snakeskin boots.
Croc skin boots. So I'm into philosophy that all it takes is a little bit of time, a little bit of soothing practice and learning how to make your own croc skin boot. Don't give me that look, Ben. I saw that.
I'm not even...
It just takes time, patience, and practice.
Long, smooth strokes with the grain. Got to get those gator skin boots. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Right on.
So you make your own.
Make them own. Make them own. Make your own.
Make them own.
Make them own it.
Noah, you're the residential cowboy here. How did you get your cowboy boots?
Yes, I am absolutely the closest thing to a cowboy. I have ridden a horse once, and that's about it. That's about as far as I can get. I always assumed, so I assume it's true because I assume it, that cowboys grow the boots, like they grow onto the cowboy. So from my understanding, as a young whippersnapper up on them horsey, you spend so much time up on your horse that the hair from the horse on either side where your feet fall, like horses shed, it gets caught up in your feet. And Ben is giving me the most concerned look right now. So as you grow up, as you hit a certain age and you undergo what is called in the ranch business as cowboy puberty, I don't know what to say, man. It's
I know I said there are no right or wrong answers in this, but I think you're wrong.
It's the cowboy. When you hit a certain age, you spend enough time on your horse. It's like with your driver's permit, how you have to have like 50 hours or whatever it is.
I don't call that driver's puberty, though. So we have cowboy puberty. So I guess that's answering the question, is it like a rite of passage sort of thing? So yeah. So you're saying cowboy puberty. I don't even remember what Michael said. Oh, you got to make your own.
Make them on your own.
Yeah, from alligators. All right. We have one more question to get answered. I know for a fact that last one totally cleared it up for that person. So you're welcome for answering your question. This one, I read it, and it sort of occurred to me that this is like a question asked out of desperation, which explains the like poor grammar and how short it is, and the type of question. And it's, does playing flight simulators with the joystick make you a qualified pilot to operate an aircraft in real life, to safely operate an aircraft? See, that's the question that's like wishful thinking. I'm in an aircraft that's about to crash. Am I able to do this? Michael, or sorry, Noah, do you play a lot of flight simulators with a joystick?
I still haven't gotten Flight Simulator as much as I would like, and I do still intend to eventually. But I guess, yeah, I think about like the flight attendant runs back and they're like, the pilots are both incapacitated. What will we do? And I rise out of my seat. I say, ma'am,
I will rise. I will. No, Ben, come on.
I don't know what
he's not listening.
I will rise out
do.
of my seat. I'm rising now to indicate what will happen.
Oh, are you? I don't have you pulled up. Oh, yeah, you are. Oh, he's
and
risen.
I will say, ma'am,
or sir,
we will get this plane to Oregon. You know how? I've played Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I run to the front of the plane, and I sit in the captain's chair, probably pushing the captain out of the chair because I assume he's passed out.
Michael, you answer.
Well, Ben, for your reference, I was Beneath the Waters, but I see you're not very into the world of entertainment. So something about a joystick. So I think Noah and I can answer this question quite well, because yesterday we got intimately familiar with the wrath of Darth Vader in a game involving a joystick. So in my genius stroke of genius, that's an oxymoron. No, I don't know. But we chose the hardest difficulty. Don't think about it too much. I flubbed my face. We chose the hardest difficulty on this game, and we got destroyed. Our whole game lasted as long as you were on the snowmobile game, which is not a very long game.
No, it's not.
So the game involved a joystick, and we failed miserably. So I can just imagine how a real-life vehicle that involves a joystick, but that's not the primary mode of flying a plane, let it be known, you would have very little success in doing so.
Yeah, you guys lasted just as long in space as Jesse and I lasted riding snowmobiles.
It was like perfectly the exact same amount of time, so that's how poorly we did with joystick video games.
I am a better snowmobile driver than Jesse, though. I'd like to make that abundantly clear. Not that I'm competitive or anything. But yeah, just figured
We'll
I'd
have
put
to
that
have her back on the podcast and see how she feels about that.
to
Jesse,
defend her
if
honor.
you feel like you're a better snowmobile person than Ben, send us a contact on our contact form at noodlespodcast.com. Subtle plug.
Just Jesse? Yeah, other people don't.
Other
can't do
people
that.
can also use the contact form. That's noodlespodcast.com.
Yeah, do it.
Noodlespodcast.
So is our consensus Noodles Podcast?
I will
.com.
keep saying it until you go.
He's still going with the plug.
Is our consensus that just no, this won't help?
I would say
Okay.
no.
Sorry, person who's probably in an airplane right now in this situation. It's not going to help, buddy. Good luck,
But
friend.
still, I would make the case, I would rather have that guy piloting the plane than probably anybody else.
More so than someone who drives snowmobiles, I bet.
Yeah, so I would, like, if the only two people on the plane were a guy that had played Flight Simulator or a guy that had played snowmobiles, I would pick the Flight Simulator guy. So there's still a case to be made that you're a better option, but you're not inherently qualified.
All right, that's fair. I am going to post all of these questions on our Instagram story at noodles.at.noon on Instagram and give you guys the chance to answer the question for yourself. If we like your answer, maybe we'll shout it out on our Instagram story. But thank you so much for playing, Noah and Michael. I'm sure that collectively we have done the world a service and answered some really pressing questions. So I think this was a beneficial addition to our show this week. So thank you very much.
I don't feel like I provided anybody any help, and I just want to go on record and say that.
I think you did. I think this was good for people.
We're on a
Okay.
podcast. You can trust us.
Yeah. And you can't talk back at us. So, ha.
It's true. Only if we read your question on the show.
Yeah. Noah, do we have a third game?
We
I
do
heard we
have
have
a
a new
third game. It's a new game, and this game idea comes to us from one of our listeners, Miss Metz. Thank you to whoever you may be. The
Dude,
game is
she's
called
great.
Lost in Translation Movie Edition. So the game is just Lost in Translation, but this week it's going to be about movies. So basically, when a movie gets made, it gets put out in other countries, but sometimes the title of the movie gets changed a little bit. So if it's called Star Wars here, it might be called something in another place. For example, Greece, as we all know, is called Vaseline in Argentina, which is interesting. And Argentina will reappear on our list. So I have 3 questions here. I'm going to give you the name of the movie, the translated name. So this is the title of the movie translated back into English from another country. So I'll give you the title, and then you can tell me what you think the movie is. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Michael is ready. That's good enough for me. All right,
Ben
Michael.
left again. Okay.
The show, or this movie, is called Superpower Dare to Die Team. It was released in China in 2016. What is the movie, Michael?
Oh boy! One more time. Just say the name of it. Once more.
Superpower Dare to Die Team.
Oh boy, the Dare to Die makes me think Suicide Squad, but I do not know when that movie came out. But I'm locking it in. Ben just reacted in a way that makes me think I might be onto something.
Suicide Squad. That's a really good guess, for sure.
That is a really good guess. I was going to say Deadpool as my answer, but Suicide Squad is a really good answer.
Those are both good
Team.
answers. Michael says Suicide Squad. Ben says Deadpool. The correct answer is Ghostbusters, the 2016
Wait.
one with all the women. Your answers were both much better.
I don't think they have superpowers.
So
That's why it's lost in translation.
the name of the title was changed because of the supernatural elements of Ghostbusters, and they tried to really downplay the supernatural ghost idea. And from my research, it looks like the movie was still denied in China and was never released in China. So Superpower Dare to Die Team never saw the light of day in China.
I personally never saw that film.
I never did either. I haven't seen any of the Ghostbuster movies, even the original.
And that's for no other reason other than the fact that I just don't like reboots. So
Yeah, I did not hear any positive things about it, but I might have gone and seen it if it was called Superpower Dare to Die Team.
I may have to. I'd gone with you.
The next movie on our list is a family classic that we all know and love, I'm sure. Actually, it's another movie I haven't seen, but that would apply to most movies in general. Called Mom, I Missed the Plane in France. Ben.
Mom, I Missed the Plane. In France.
This is a family film.
Oh, it's Home Alone.
Home Alone. Does he miss a plane in that film?
Yeah.
You're asking of that question makes me concerned.
I think he's bluffing you, honestly.
Michael, I'll give you, if you think it's Home Alone, I'll give you the same normal rules. You can pick Home Alone.
Well, let me logicify it. Because my gut reaction was Home Alone 2, specifically. However, something about Mom. I'm just trying to think of how that could be construed. Something about a flying object and a superior. I'm sticking with Home Alone. There's nothing else coming to mind.
Home Alone 1 or Home Alone 2?
Oh, see now.
Lost in New York, number 2.
Number 2? Ben, did you mean Home Alone 2 or did you mean the first one?
Yeah, the one with Donald Trump.
All right, you both...
That's 2.
You both pick Home Alone 2. The answer is... Let me do some research real quick because it said it was the first one.
Beethoven. No.
It said it was the first one, but maybe it's supposed to be the second one.
I think they miss a flight in the first one too, don't they?
It is the first. Okay.
I meant the first one.
The answer is Home Alone 1. So we'll give you both the point. Even though it really doesn't matter if I give you both the point.
Who got the first point?
I don't think anybody got the point. I liked Michael's answer. I'll give Michael the point for the first one, just because Suicide Squad was a really good guess, even if it wasn't correct.
Okay.
And I'll give you both the point for this. It was Home Alone 1, but I'm still pretty impressed because I haven't seen any of these movies, and I had no idea that he missed a plane, or that was so integral to the plot. All right, I have one final question to end off our show. Michael leads 2-1. And this is an animated film known in Argentina as The Night of the Cold Noses. Michael, The Night of the Cold Noses.
So it's a winter film. Is it a Christmas film?
It is not a Christmas film.
Ooh. Oh, that was a rhetorical question.
But I'll give you the help. It's an animated. It's another children's movie. It's an animated children's movie. I'll even get more specific.
It's not a
It is an
Christmas
animated children's Disney movie.
Frozen 2.
Frozen 2. Final answer?
Did you say a year in the preface to your question?
Did not.
Okay, Frozen 2, final answer, locked it in.
Frozen 2. Ben, you look deep in thought.
I really want to get this right because I at the very least want to tie. The Night of the Cold Noses. Frozen 1, specifically. Just because Michael said Frozen 2. I'm trying to think of any Disney movies that have to do with cold things, especially at night.
that aren't Christmas
that aren't
films.
Christmas films. But yeah, Frozen's the only one that comes to mind. So yeah, Frozen, the first one.
Ben, Michael, both with your Frozen answers, you are both incorrect. And I'll give you another hint. I'll give you both another try.
That's a novel idea.
That's a really novel idea. Ben did not suggest this, and then we cut it out for time. This was completely my idea. I'm going to give you another guess. This is an older 2D animated film, so it's much older than Frozen. Think specifically about cold noses and who might possess cold noses. Ben or Michael? First one to shout it out wins.
But it's not a Christmas movie.
Nope.
No, I thought we said it wasn't.
Is it Pinocchio?
That is a good guess. He has a nose. It is not Pinocchio.
Never mind.
The Seven Dwarves. I have no idea. Snow White.
Okay, I'll give you even further hints. This movie was remade in live action. So there's an animated and a live action version of this movie. And it also has a sequel.
Beauty and the Beast.
A direct-to-video sequel.
Mulan.
Not Mulan.
And it's not Beauty and the Beast because there is snow in that
Not
one.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my
But there
goodness
aren't
gracious,
noses.
this is impossible. Lion King?
I don't think you're going to get it, so I think I'm just going to have to tell you.
How far off are we?
The Night of the Cold Noses in Argentina is known in America as 101 Dalmatians.
Wait, hang on. I'm more bothered by the way you say Dalmatians.
Dalmatians? Dalmatians?
Dalmatians.
Dalmatians. I think-
Yeah.
I
Not
think I've always said
Dalmatians.
Dalmatians. Michael, how do you say it?
Dal.
Oh no, is this just
That's
me?
it. Just Dal. No.
How to
Dalmatians.
pronounce
Dalmatian.
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 It is indeed Dalmatian. I have said this wrong my entire life.
Dalmatian.
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 That's the way they say it.
Take it from the top. Ben, Michael, the answer is 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, don't think that's not going in the show.
All right, that's fair. I'll leave it in.
But you have to leave in this part too to prove that you tried getting away with it.
All right, since I got called out, I'll leave the whole thing in its entirety, except for the part where my Discord crashed.
Except for your Discord crash.
Dalmatian. So, I guess dogs have cold noses sometimes. Their noses get wet. I don't know. I looked it up. I double checked. It really is the Night of the Cold Noses. All right. Well, that leaves the score 2-1 with Michael as our winner. Michael, you have won the very first edition of Lost in Translation.
Woo! Congratulations, Michael. But mostly,
Thanks.
congratulations to you, because you made it to the end of another podcast, and even though I won a game, Michael won a game, you guys are the real winners, because we love and respect all of you. So thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Make sure you go follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, look us up on the social medias, and do all those wonderful things. Reach out, leave a review, comment, make sure you participate in our giveaway, do all these awesome things. I'm running out of breath. I'm starting to feel like that laptop with no spacebar. But thank you so much for listening. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
Noodlespodcast.com.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Noodlespodcast.com. We're not going to stop until you go there.
That sounded like Bane. You're right.
We're not going to stop. Welcome to Noodles Podcast. Well, anyways, thank you so much for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. Noodles Podcast.